Janie Pendleton. We're back with our little homestead. We hope that you're subscribed. If you're not, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below because we have plenty of videos like this one. And if you haven't seen any of my videos, just know that we have almost 800 videos on YouTube and other social media. So be sure and subscribe. We have a lot of good stuff. Right now we're doing our series of Raising Katy, and I just wanted to talk about some of those toys that she likes, her favorite toys that really works with her. And since we're teaching Montessori style teaching with the curriculum, then I want to show you some of the really great touch and feel books that are out there that she just absolutely loves. I just picked this one up for her Christmas present a couple weeks ago, and she loves it. It is Polka Dot, Who's in the Ocean. Isn't that great? And then you come back here, and then she reads these. It's got great illustrations, and the whole book is this way, just popping the characters along as you go, and then popping them back. And what's great is when you pop them back, and you start over, then they're already popped out for the next time around when she reads it again. All right, this is a great book. It is by Melissa and Doug. That's all it says, Melissa and Doug. Let's see if I can find a place here for you to pick it up. It's called Polka Dot. To discover different popping sounds, polka dots from the front or the back with pages raised or flat. So with Polkatronic patent technology, and it's by Melissa and Doug, and it runs $12.99. Okay, $12.99 for that book. Definitely worth it, and usually you can find them at a discount store like Ollie's or something like that, or something around in your neighborhood where you're at. This would have to be book number 2, but I love this. Even the little seal up here has, this is great if you have nervous conditions. For the adults, I go play with this while she's playing with something else. But this is called Never Touch a Polar Bear. Never Touch a Polar Bear. And it is by Make Believe Ideas. And so it's 0+ years, and it's in the U.S. it's $9.99, and I believe that we did better than that on this. But isn't this neat? Look at the plastic, how that looks. And every page is the same way. So it's another touch and feel book. It's got a great storyline, and she loves this book. She really likes this one with the circles. That's her favorite page. And the squirrel, the way it feels. So this is, see the whale jumping out of the water. So this is a great touch and feel book, and I definitely recommend this book, okay? I'm gonna put pictures, up close pictures of the books at the end of the video. I'm playing with them. And then this was $7.18 at Walmart, tag still on it. And this is called Tweet Tweet, a touch and feel Alpha Prints book. And I love this because it's got fingerprints. You see that? It's fingerprints. And then they have the fur, and you open up, and it just says, chicks on the farm are so sweet. Hear them go, tweet, tweet, tweet. And then you can feel the touch and feel. It's an orange slice for the beak. Lambs are the same way. They got fingerprints here. They got the fuzzy here, but they're supposed to be cauliflower. Here you got a hedgehog. Different feels, different things. Hedgehogs in the woods walk and shuffle. Hear them go, snuffle, snuffle. See, and they just got different fruits and different things, and then here's all your animals in the end. But she really likes this type of book. I mean, she loves this type of book. And so those are her top 3 books, okay? I'll be right back. I'm going to show you a couple more that I think, if you don't already have, that I really think you should add to your child's library. They're just absolutely great. And she's really learned a lot. This helps her with her colors. Textures are very important to babies, and as they're learning textures, you know, at first they learn textures through their mouth, and they want to put their mouth on everything. She still wants to put her mouth on the fur and on everything. But she's starting to lose that now, and you'll know she's using her pincers more. I have a project for that coming up next as well. So just ways to get them to exercise. And you know, it works because she's so strong. The other day, she pulled a toy down off of her that was hooked to her crib. She just pulled it right down. And now when I notice when I'm trying to pull something out of her hand, she's actually giving me a fair amount of pressure, some torque on there. she's really stopping me from getting things from her now. So she's really picked up some strength. So today for reading, I wanted to show you her 3 favorite books. And then when we come back here in a minute, we're going to show you a couple of more. Okay, honorable mentions. We'll be right back. I Love You All Year Round. I love this book. It is a Piggy Toes book, and it's for ages 3 and up, and in the U.S. it is $10.95, and I'll leave a picture of it behind here as well. But I love this because it is a illustrated pop-up book, and look at that. Isn't that cute? It's a great 3D book. See? And a white page, and then another pop-up. I love that. And then this is my favorite one here. Isn't that cute? And she really likes this. Now be careful because she's tried to pull him off already. I've already had to re-glue him. She loves anything about rabbits. And her #1 book before I got these, and she still has me read it to her all the time, is 5 Little Ladybugs. And you can fill them. They have the holes in here for the ladybugs. And as you go, there's a ladybug glued to that page, so there's one less ladybug on every page. You see that? It's really cute. Matter of fact, I'll just tell you the story. It's 5 little ladybugs. I just love this. 5 little ladybugs sleeping by the shore. Along came a fish, and then there were 4. 4 little ladybugs climbing up a tree. Along came a turtle, and then there were 3. 3 little ladybugs drinking up the dew. Along came a duck, and then there were 2. And then we counted number 2, 1, 2. We count each page. 2 little ladybugs basking in the sun. Along came a frog, and there was 1. 1 little ladybug sitting all alone. Along came a breeze, and then she was home. I love that. My daughter and I both first read it, and we thought, oh my gosh, they're eating the ladybugs. But no, then they came home, and then we count all the ladybugs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 little ladybugs, and it kind of becomes a nice spy little book in the end. But I just like these because the ladybugs are like raised wood ladybugs. I don't know if you can see how they're raised there or not, but just a really good book. And you can tell she's read it a lot. She's even chewed off the edge. But I got this one, 5 Little Ladybugs, is by Melanie Girth. Gerth, and it's illustrated by Laura Holiska Beith? Laura Holiska Beith. Something like that. I'll take a picture of it. And it's another Piggy Toes book. So I just think these touch and feel books are very good. They make for great Montessori tools where they have to use their imagination and their fingers, and they're connecting their brain with their fingertips. Use their other sensories of their body parts to touch and feel and learn. Way to bring in colors, animal names. She's getting to the point now where we actually name her animals again, and she really, like, if she sees Rosemary, her rabbit, she'll say Rose. So she knows Rosemary. And so she's just really learning a lot, and people ask me how many hours a day do I read to her. I read to her until she's done, or usually until I'm done, because she'll just keep pointing up to the books. She'll read each book once, or have me read it once or twice. Then she'll want me to throw it down, and she'll want a next one. And then when I run out of the stack of 3 over here, then she puts her hand up like this, meaning up to the bookcase, and she wants more. Or she'll point to the closet where she knows maybe this one might be in the closet. And then what I do is, the reason why there's books in the closet is because there's just not enough room on this hutch for all of her books. So, and I don't want her to get bored, and I don't want her reading the same book over and over. I want her to know that she can expand her mind into other adventures. So we take the books off the bookshelf, the whole section, put that in the bookshelf in the closet, and then we bring the books from the bookshelf from the closet into her hutch. So when she's looking up to read, she gets a whole new selection of books. And this just shows her that she doesn't have to read the same book over and over. She can have a favorite, that's great, and I'll keep that out on the shelf. Like these will stay out on the shelf. But she can learn other textures and other fun-filling books and other stories. Now right now the stories don't mean a whole lot to her, but if it's got a elephant in it, she'll say fawn, and then she'll make a ringing sound. So she's learning all of her animal sounds, and see if I can't start teaching her a little earlier, and see if we can't teach her these things much sooner. And so far, I mean, it's working. She knows her animals, she knows their sounds, and just because she's not talking or saying their names completely yet, you can tell she knows exactly. She's absorbing what you're telling her. She knows it. If I tell her to go get her lion, she goes to the tub and she gets her lion. Now sometimes she might get confused and grab the tiger, but then she'll realize she's confused and she'll go, I'll say, well, that's got stripes. I said, what is that called? And she'll go, tight, or grr, like tiger, grr. So she'll give some sort of showing that she knows what it is. And I'll say, oh, well, you were supposed to get the lion. Let's go get the lion together. And then we go get the lion and put him on the little lion zoo train and then take off. So the interaction that she's learning is that I let her try to figure it out on her own. If she can't do it, then I go show it to her. And it's an activity we do together. I'm engaged with her, she's engaged with me, and we're both engaged in learning something together. And I'm teaching her something of knowledge that will last her a lifetime. And so I tell myself, what knowledge do I want her to have for a lifetime? And what I want her to have is the option to always have her mind open for new adventure. And new adventures in reading. Reading is very important in our family. I taught her mom to read. My son he was slightly dyslexic, and I caught it before he was in kindergarten, and I taught him to read. And then while Jacqueline sat on my lap doing and I did Hooked on Phonics for that, by the way, and I definitely recommend that. And we are going to order her Hooked on Phonics probably sometime in the next 2 or 3 months. I was just waiting for her to actually start getting interested in looking at actual letters and learning what words sound like. I don't want to push her too soon. I would say I'm going to say about 18 months to age 2 would be a good time to start introducing the first books of Hooked on Phonics. And but right now, I just got to get her interested in the adventures in reading, because the Hooked on Phonics books aren't such adventures. They're just more about learning to read. So I want her to want to learn to read with the Hooked on Phonics so that she can pick up her favorite book and read it to her doll or read it to her little teddy bear at a tea party. And of course, she still has my first colors and shapes. She still has the fuzzy duck. See that? And it's yellow. See? And the duck says quack, quack. And this right here, he's yellow. This is just a baby duck. And it's yellow. And she loves things like that, or seeing the baby. She likes the color pink. She's like her mom. She likes the color pink. Pebbles. She can feel the rock fill. Little doggy. He's black and white. Chocolate cake. It's furry. So it just goes on. And of course the teddy bear, you can feel his little feet. So I think the picture cards are very important. And then what it's leading up to next is then we'll start playing games like Crazy Eights. I just bought these. We'll play games like Crazy Eights. We'll play Go Fish. And Alphabet Soup. Okay? Now they never had Alphabet Soup matching game when I was little, but they did have a matching game version of this in Crazy 8. So she'll be playing this probably at about age, it says 4 and up, but let's be realistic, since I'm homeschooling her at the age, since she's been 3 months old. We've been working with her in different languages and stuff. Today was Spanish. Last week was all French. And we'll just keep rotating the languages until she finds something that she's really picking up on, and then we'll move with that. John's teaching her Hebrew and Greek. He's teaching her the Bible in Hebrew and Greek, and he will continue to do that. She will do that. And then she has her Bible time, her Bible stories. But I think what's most important right now are any adventures that she's interested in. So we try to stick with Bible stories that are adventures. That would be her age level. And she's not always interested. And sometimes she just wants to go do her own thing. If that's the case, let her go do her own thing. She's just not ready to do it at that moment. But like Go Fish, she's already been working. There's the bear, and there's the duck, and there's the octopus, and the rabbits. And she knows her teddy bear and her dogs. So now that she knows all of these cards really well, she's moved up to Go Fish. Now, we don't play Go Fish, but we do talk about matching them. So here's a bear, and usually when she sees that card, she'll just go, grrr. So even though she won't say, or she'll say, buh, grrr, grrr, you know, she knows it. Even if she can't say it, I know she knows it. She knows its sound. She's identifying it with something, and I know that she knows it. The turtle, she knows the turtles because of the books that she's been reading. Frog, she doesn't know as well, because I don't like frogs, so I don't. Dragonfly, she's learning. And let's see, the crab, I'll only pick out the carbs, like the red crab. That might be one that we'll pick out. She knows fish, and she knows bird. She does not know beaver, so that card I'll hold out. She doesn't know a hammerhead shark, but there's that matching bear. And then when I go back through these again, and that's what we do, and they're all the same, and then we get, I don't play matches like that, but we will be playing goldfish with them soon. I'm very convinced of that. And but right now I want her to learn and get used to what's in the Go Fish cards. Does that make sense what I'm saying? She's learning picture sights and picture words and what animals sound like. So pretty soon we'll be playing goldfish with each other. We'll be playing the actual game. I'm convinced of that. And I'm going to predict probably in the next six to 8 months we'll actually be playing Go Fish together. And she'll only be about 18 to 20 months old. And I believe we'll be playing that together. I believe that she will be reading by the time she's 3 to 3.5. Her mom was reading at 3.5 years old, and her mom was reading books, you know, this age level here, kindergarten to first grade age level, or earlier. She was reading this level at first grade level at probably about 4. And then by the time she was 5, she could read anything in the bookcase, and we had to be very careful what was on her level, book level. Because one day she got a book out that was one of her dad's college books, and she ran up to me and asked me a question, and I said, let's put the college book back. And it just, I mean, it wasn't, she could read it, but it just wasn't anything I thought she needed to know yet. Maybe I was wrong in that, but, you know, she ended up graduating top of her class at Purdue University. I hope this has helped you a little bit about homeschooling and at what age you can start with them. I just feel like different moms will do different things. I find that I don't stick with a homeschooling curriculum that other people just stick with. They work, but I find that I've raised enough kids and homeschooled enough kids that I know what works. This works. Know that these, to start them out with these, and you see the videos, she's doing it, and she's learning it, and you do it every day. I'd say at first, maybe 15, 20 minutes, just go and they'll be interested. They'll sit there. You'll catch their attention when they can't crawl off yet. When they start crawling off, it's a little harder to catch their attention, and you don't want to get frustrated. Just let them do their thing. They're still learning playing with toys. They're still learning as they're throwing all their stuffed animals out of the toy box. You just use it as time to teach. And then eventually, they want to be read to. You know, when they're just getting ready to settle down for a nap, she likes to be read to. She'll want her favorite book. So read her favorite book. Even if it's 5 times over, read her favorite book. Try to put in something a little different. When she's more awake and she's really attentive, then something like this is fun. And when she's just wanting to make sounds, then that's fun. And then when she wants something to be read to but really is engaged, a little pop-up book. But make sure they're at the age or you're in the location where they don't reach out and grab these off. Because that's terrible to ruin such a beautiful book. There's the library. You can go get free books by renting them out. I don't like to do that just because when she's in the library, she goes hysterical. It's like she's like her mom and she's like me. She sees a book and who knows, maybe someday. I just finished writing I just finished 24,000, it's almost 25,000 by the time I did all my book cover and all my copyrights and everything. In just 2 days, I wrote a half of a romance novel. She'll be able to do that with her adventures in her mind, and take all of this and put it into maybe writing books like Grandma does someday. If I can't be on my job site, then I've got to be doing something to make money, and I write. And I've written 13 novels. This is novel, I think, number 14 for me. And it's a book that's been in my head for years, and I've told everybody the story in my family, and I finally got it on paper. I finally just went with it. I didn't even have to read. That's the first time I've never had to research a book, because I already had done that 2 years ago. And then all this other stuff happened, and the house went on the market, and I just decided, I'm going to go back and write that book. The idea was, I was having dreams about it. I just knew I was supposed to write the book. And it's the first time I've ever wrote a book that was under 50,000 words. So I've got to go back through, and I have to figure out how I'm going to put these 25,000 words and get them and write another 25,000 words. Because I actually ended the story at 25,000 words. So I've got to put in about at least 4 or 5 more chapters to give people what they want. So I've never ended a book so quickly, from the beginning to the end, in only 25,000 words. So I got to fill it with some romantic fluff in there somewhere. I got to get those valleys in and out of there, which they have. But these are the things that I can do because my mom homeschooled me. My mom and my dad were both geniuses, and my mom had a photographic memory. I didn't have that, so life was a little harder for me. But she never expected us to be like that, and I think that's Jacqueline. I think Jacqueline just has a photographic memory, and I think so does my son Jonathan. I think they just don't talk about it. My son never told his wife that he was dyslexic, and sometimes her family, he said, makes fun of him, but he didn't want them to know. So one day I just told his wife, I said, why are you guys making fun of his reading? He graduated top of his class at Purdue. He graduated top of his class at high school. They go, well, what are they pushing out of school that he could be top of his class and he can't hardly read? And I said, he can't hardly read. I said, just be glad that you don't have to read to him. I said, he's dyslexic, and just be glad that he can read and that he doesn't need assistance anymore. And I said that was, when we found out he was dyslexic in preschool age, that's when I worked with him and started homeschooling him even stronger. I didn't want anybody else homeschooling him because I thought he'd get left behind. And I was told by other parents who had dyslexic children that they didn't pick up on it until 1st or 2nd grade. And then he would have been way left behind. Those students still weren't reading. Even in 4th and 5th grade, they were having problems. And by 1st grade, Jonathan was already reading, book levels higher than this. And it was thanks to Hooked on Phonics. And it was thanks to me picking up on it while he was doing Hooked on Phonics. So homeschooling actually helped me find something wrong with one of my children, educationally, that he wasn't picking something up for a reason mentally. And we were able to fix it. I did research on it. I called around some other teachers and asked them, some special needs teachers, what I could do. And we worked on it every day, and we fixed it. And I've had parents say, yeah, but how do you do this when you have to work all the time? Well, you find the time, your child is worth it, and there's nothing better you can give your child than an education. And if dad's at home during a certain time of the day, he can spend 20 minutes doing this. You come home while supper's in the oven, you can spend 20 minutes doing this. That's 40 minutes a day spent homeschooling your child. And sometimes that's all it takes to get them up to where they need to be or ahead of the class. And when I was working, then Jonathan helped the girls. He would get dinner on the table so that I could help them with homework at night. So we all just pitched in and lived in a smaller home, so we were more confined in the same room. And I just think if I had to do it all over again, I would definitely stay in a smaller home when the kids were small.
And we're going to be right back. Subscribe.